Good morning, everyone. This is Carlita, and I am very excited to be coming live to you guys this morning to talk about the book club that we have on chapter 7 with Start With Why. And let me move my computer over so I kind of look like I'm looking at the same direction as our Facebook Live people that are on our book club call. And Guys, I sent out a kind of a last second SOS because I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, get your people on this call because there is some good, not good, amazing, like basic business information that will help your business go from maybe a struggling business to maybe you're doing a great business right now, but whatever you're doing, it's going to help your business go into a tipping point and hit a tipping point, which maybe you're like me and you didn't even know that term in business and that law that is in effect. And it's like John Maxwell talks about in his 15 laws of growth, and anytime he trains, he says that there is if it's a law, it's a law. It means that it absolutely is true and we can't ignore it. And so you guys, this is a law that he is talking about, the law of diffusion, and how a product or a business gets diffused out into the world, and we can't ignore what it requires and the truth behind it. So I am excited. It says low internet connection on my Facebook one. So if you guys are having a struggle, you might hop on over to the Zoom one, and then I'll post the video on the Facebook club page. But you guys, I was listening to a podcast about the tipping point and the law of diffusion, and the guy was talking about hush puppy shoes. And I know most of us can know what a hush puppy shoe is. And he was talking about how back in 1995, they were about to go out of business. And then because no one was wearing these shoes, these boys in Soho, New York, started wearing the shoes because nobody else was wearing them. They wanted to be different. Well, they started wearing them around New York, which is the fashion capital of the US. And those shoes caught on, you guys. And they went from sales of 430,000 in 1 year to 4 times the sales of hush puppy shoes back then. And that is, what can happen whenever you have influencers talking about your product or your business. And that, you guys, is what we're going to learn today. And Shelly Nelson is asking where Carlita Nelson is. I said, I'm going to start doing like what Donna Johnson does. Where in the world is Carlita? Carlita is working from Nassau, Bahamas today. I got in super late last night after kind of whirlwind travel day. And that is where I'm coming live and getting to work with all of you this week. So anybody who wants to keep me busy with some lives and virtual events, video chats with your team and prospects, I'm here and I'm available, and I would love to do it. So I love that I get to work wherever I have a home, and this is one of the places we have a home. So you guys, but he said virus ideas spread just like a virus. It's contagious, and little changes happen and create a big effect. So that's what we want to become. We want to become contagious. And I will tell you honestly, for people who believe, and that's what we're talking about too, he references again Martin Luther King Jr. in his I Believe speech, you guys. And we have to first check ourselves. That's why I want everybody on here. I want us to do an individual. Don't be thinking about your team. Don't be thinking about your clients or your clients and customers. I want you first checking your belief. Do you believe like Martin Luther King Jr. believed about his mission and his purpose and passion for equality in the human race? And so you guys, that's what we have to do, but that's where we're going to learn how to get a tipping point. He says, there's a guy that wrote the book, The Tipping Point, Gladwell, and he says he identifies groups of necessary populations that he calls connectors and influencers. And I will tell you guys, I know some people have a power to be influential, maybe a little more in one way, in a positive way than others, because you've been out in the world or however you've lived your life. You've already been an influencer in what you believe. I'm an influencer. You know why, you guys? Because I am passionate about things that I believe in. When I believe to a point of conviction. that what I believe in is absolute truth, and that it will help change people's lives if they believe what I believe. And I go out there no matter what it is. And that's helped me with my Arbonne business, because it helped me whenever I believed in what I was given after going to that card presentation and seeing that life didn't have to be as hard as it was for people out there like me, that were good, hardworking people that did not want something for nothing, but didn't get the same starting line in life because they didn't get born with a silver spoon in their mouth, and they were sacrificing things that were more important than money to them to be able to just pay the bills and take care of their family whenever in order for us to be able to live. I believe that people like me and you, the ordinary people out there in the world, good old hardworking ordinary people who didn't want something for nothing, but just didn't get the same starting point, had a chance to have equal rights in the, oh, are we not muted? Sorry, I'll mute everybody. Sorry. I had mine down. Okay, I'll turn it up. So you guys, I believe that everybody had equal rights and deserved to have. If the Facebook one, you guys, keep stopping, you might want to hop onto the Zoom, because my Facebook is saying low internet connection, but my Zoom is doing fine as far as I know. So you guys, what I believed was what I went out and on a mission and with a passion went out and shared with my world whenever I started my business almost 16 years ago in January. And because of the influence I had and the belief that I had, video starts, I don't know if it's on, I'm on my internet, you guys. It's doing the best I can, sorry. But if I believe that, so I went out, you guys, and people believed me because they believed in what I would say. They believed that they deserved the human equality, the equality that other people had, and that they were hard workers, and that they didn't want something for nothing, and that if they did this, they would be able to have the life that they deserved. And they would also be helping other people go out and do the same because they believed. It wasn't a lot of people, you guys. I love sharing the, and I was going to pull it up, but I won't mess with our internet today, the area manager thumbnail, where it's you plus 3 people that are in here doing this business and sharing this business and products with people in your world. And that's what this book validates. It does not take a lot of people to create a movement. It actually takes more than what businesses say. He said most businesses think if they get 10% of the population, they're doing good. He said it actually takes about 15 to 18% of the population to hit a tipping point in your business. And you guys, that is based on the law of diffusion and the way that the people that in the world that are in the world today are broken down. And that's what I love, is that our area manager breakdown sheet, it's at area manager, you guys. Linda Parker came and talked to our NVPs at our retreat last week, and she said we need to be 8 area managers wide. And that's one of like the most incredible big businesses in Arbonne that you could ever have. I'm 8 area managers wide, actually maybe 9, I'm not sure. But you guys, that is a huge business. But look at that little thumbnail. That's what you have to create for you. And then you go help other people create that for themselves. And that is when that 15 to 18% of the right people are in your business to create a movement and to get it to grow. He shows this chart, you guys, and I don't know if you guys have looked at the book or if you have the book, but this is the bell curve of how people are laid out in the world. And the first 2.5% are your innovators. You guys, I'm probably not an innovator. Arbonne is an innovator. Petter Moore was an innovator. He was the one that helped people to realize that we needed something different, completely different than the U.S. had ever had or seen before. And he was the one that brought Arbonne to the U.S. with the ingredient policy that we had of being pure, safe, beneficial, vegan, all of those things almost 40 years ago when no one cared. He was an innovator. The pioneers in our company, the Nita Irwin that is in your upline, Martha McIntyre that is sponsored me into this business, and the other leaders, Cecilia Stoll, the leaders of those days, Those are the pioneers. Even go back into like Donna Johnson and the people before Nita. They were the ones that adapted to Petter's vision and his belief, and then went out and pioneered Arbonne in the world. Not only the products, you guys, and mainly I will tell probably more so the products back in the day. Even though Petter had a vision for how the lifestyle that Arbonne could give people, the pioneers really were taking care of their own life by spreading the vision and his idea of pure, safe, and beneficial products for a home. And that is the 2.5, Petter was the innovator. The 13.5% were the early adopters. The people that whenever, and we can have early adopters today, you guys, we haven't missed the boat. That's the category I think I fall in. I'm an early adopter. I'm somebody that watches somebody's idea and goes, okay, wait a minute, I think that has merit. And then I start studying it and learning it so that I can help pioneer it. And I can help push it out there to the world because I believe what they believe. And I'm an early adopter. Those are the people you want. You want to get in that innovator group and the early adopter group that believe what you believe in your product, you guys, but also in what you do as a business. If what you do as a business is something you believe in, that you believe that it helps, like I did when I started 16 years ago, give equality to hardworking people that don't want something for nothing and are just looking for a vehicle to be able to change their life and be passionate about getting that message out to the world and letting other people change their lives, that is where you can be an innovator in your world. You can be an innovator for your world, maybe even though Arbonne was the one that innovated for us. We're early adopters of Arbonne, and we are helping to put Arbonne out there on the map and then help duplicate that with other people. But he says, when you get to this part of the curve, you guys, this area, the early majority and the late majority, and then you even have your laggards back here, you guys, that's whenever he says that's what most businesses focus on because it looks like it's your largest group of people. And it's like 34% in each early majority and late majority, and then 16% for your laggards. And that's the majority of people out there in the world where most people live. And yet he says that's absolutely the wrong place to focus. And yet, you guys, that's probably where a lot of us have made mistakes in our businesses because we focus in that group instead of working to find and identify our connectors and our influencers and bringing them into our business, that area manager thumbnail, people that believe like we believe, and then letting them help us put enough of our beliefs out there in front of the early majority and even the late majority and laggards to the world, enough for them to go, okay, maybe I believe enough to buy your product. What kind of deal do you have? Those people in the later thing are the ones that he says create more stress and cost you more money to be able to sell your product to, and you will never, ever have loyalty out of them. And you guys, we want loyal people who believe what we believe. And it doesn't take a lot of people to do that. So I want you to know that's the good news about this. He says it's the law of diffusion that explains how you spread innovation, technology, or ideas. And that's how Petter Mork spread his idea. How smart of him to do it in the model that he did it in. And then you guys find out where you are. And I will say, even within Arbonne, you can have different beliefs about what you believe, what you want to be an early adopter of. You guys, how many people started in my business because all we had was RE9 and you adopted to RE9? You were an early adopter of RE9, or maybe the mission of helping humans have an equal opportunity out here in America and change their life and take control of their life. You were an early adopter of RE9, but maybe you were a laggard in healthy living. How many of you were that, you guys? Where are you today? Are you still being a laggard or a late majority of people that are coming into healthy living? Because you guys, healthy living's been in Arbonne a long time. A long time. How many of you are just now going, maybe I believe enough that I'll come over and I'll try some protein. I might try some of those fizzies. I see people talk about those fizzies all the time. How many of you are willing to buy an ASVP, do a 30 days of healthy living, and believe in the health changes that can happen for you, and be an innovator for your world, and put it out there on social media for those early majority and those late majority people that have to see to believe and are waiting for somebody like you, an early adapter, to believe enough that you're out here doing it. You're showing the world you believe what Arbonne believes, and now you're going to show them, and they're going to watch you, and because they see you, they're going to feel like it's a low enough risk that they could try it and do it for themselves too, and if they can get it at a good deal. And thank God Arbonne gives us ASVPs that we can order at a 40% discount for people that need a discount just to be able to buy some products that could absolutely change their life for life. You guys, that's the majority of people. And you have to decide too, and be honest with yourself. Where have I been in Arbonne? How about the business? Maybe you're a late majority to the business. Maybe you're just kind of like we talked about last week with Dr. Barrett's level of commitment. Where is your level of commitment in your business? Are you somebody who is still kind of just playing with this because you don't believe if it's going to work for you or not? You don't believe if this is going to change your life and help you further your mission, your cause, your passion, your purpose for what you can do to make a difference in this world. Do you believe that about the business, or are you just enjoying the products at a discount for the most part? And when it's convenient, you share this with other people. Where are you with your business on this bell curve? With your belief in this business? How much of an innovator are you being in sharing this with your world? How many of you have adapted to that belief for you to believe that as a business? How about virtuals? Where are you at with virtuals? Maybe you're a healthy living person. I could talk just as much about the healthy living people that are early adapters about healthy living, but you have not been passionate about sharing the RE9, or more importantly, the business. You guys, we have models. We have systems for every single reach out method that you can use to help people see the benefits of what it is they can have with the products, but how also they can build this as a business when they share it with the people that they know and help us innovate it to those people. But you guys, we're looking for those innovators. And when we believe what we believe, we will attract people who believe like us. They're not going to do what we do with Arbonne because we believe it for them. They do it because when we share what we believe, they do it because that's what they believe. They're like, oh my gosh, this is. And that's why we say in our presentation, and our presentation is lined out pretty well to help you know why you want to do this, because it helps you let people know what we do, why we did what we did back in Petter-Mork, the beginning of Petter-Mork, and how we've always been that, and why they would want to be a part of it. And when that identifies with who people like to be out there in the world, and like the world to think they are, that they are these healthy people with these kind of products and this kind of ingredient policy, they're going to join you and do Arbonne because it's what they believe and what they want the world to believe about them. It's not because they just want health and wellness, you guys. They want, if people that just want health and wellness, they'll take anything. They have to believe in our ingredient policy and our mission and our statement of purpose as a company to become loyal to Arbonne. That's who you're working for. And I love how he says the only reason he talks about that whole bell curve and who the early majority, the late majority, and the laggards are, he says is for you to be able to identify those people, because they're going to do business with you anyway whenever you put a good enough deal out there. But he says you really want to stay away from them. He says it's not hard. He says it's not too hard to recognize where people fall on the spectrum once you're in relationship with them. The opportunity is to figure out which is which before you decide to work with them. And he's like, so think about it, you guys. How hard are we working with these people that are going to rarely develop a loyalty? And you guys, check yourself first. Are you loyal to Arbonne? Are you loyal to RE9 and passionate? Are you loyal to healthy living and passionate? Are you so passionate that you're willing to get uncomfortable, suffer an inconvenience? Like we've learned, people that do what they do because they believe in it so much. Are you willing to suffer all of that and things not be perfect in the beginning just because you go, I don't care if it's perfect. It's another way for me to get my belief out there to the world. You know what? Some people go, whenever Arbonne figures it out and they quit making mistakes with it, then I will go ahead and do that. You know what? I don't care. I want the people on my team that are willing to live through the struggles because they're going to suffer an inconvenience and stay with Arbonne no matter what, because they believe in who Arbonne is and what Arbonne does, and they want and will be a part of who Arbonne is, and they're going to be the people that push it out there to the world and do it in every possible way they can, even if it's not perfect yet. Those are the people. If you just get a few of those people on your team and quit worrying and marketing to the early majority and late majority people on your team, even, you guys, you will find and build the biggest business you've ever seen in your life. Is this clicking for anybody? Is this making sense? Is it making your business seem a little bit easier? Because you guys, I'm a leader that really, I don't jump through a whole lot of hoops. I will tell you, I work harder than any of you will ever work, probably. I can pretty much say that, to help you believe what I believe. But I'm not one to put on a dog and pony show for you. I'm not one to put out a ton of challenges out there for you, because you guys, you know what I know? The same people win the challenges that I put out there every single time, because it's the people that believe what I believe. That's who does it. They're going to do it anyway. You are doing what you need to do because you need to do it, not because I put a challenge out there for you. I want you all to do this for you. I want you to believe in this for you enough that you don't care what I do. You don't care what Arbonne does. It is something you're going to do and put out to your world with every possible tool and method. You're going to have every door open to the mall of your business and opportunity to change people's lives, so that anyone and everyone can line up at every one of those doors, and wherever they are, and being an innovator or an early adapter with you, they come in there, but then you can open it up and show them everything else that creates even more loyalty, passion, and excitement in them to live Arbonne as a business and as a product. So you guys, where are you at with your business belief? Where are you at with your belief in RE9? Where are you at with your belief in healthy living? Where are you at with your belief in virtuals? Are you willing to put up with me putting out one more version of the script, because we're making it better, because we're being early innovators and early adapters with it? Are you going to go, you know what? I'm done. Until they get that script done and the final version. Is this the final version, Carlita? I don't care. It's good enough. If you're passionate, it's got enough in it to be able to give you what you need to just go out there and share more with your world. You guys, where are you at in your heart with this? Are you on the belief scale that I am? Because I believe, but I need us to believe. When we believe, do you know what we can do with this vehicle? And you guys, these are things that first should speak to you and should give you a gut check. Give you a gut check where you are with this business and what you've been doing with this business, but then help you develop the skill and the mindset to be able, now get it. I know what I need to do to become an early adapter. And he says that, you know, different people, like we said, are at different places. And we are really in, he says, it's nearly impossible to convince people, someone on the value of your product or ideas on the basic rational arguments. So you guys, we always say in Arbonne, we're in a sorting business. We're not in a convincing business. We're sorting to find those few, that 15 to 18% of connectors and influencers to be able to help push our mission and our products out to the world, to get those people that are in the majority to buy from us. So you guys, he talks about the stress. I'm really just been going out of my passion. He talks about what it takes to be a multi-billion-dollar company. You guys, I messaged John David. If he messages me back, I'll let you guys know. But Arbonne has been around, the last I heard, I think $600-700 million company. We are on our way to $1 billion company. He says there's over 27 million businesses out there, and fewer than 2,000 have ever reached $1 billion in annual revenues. You guys, Arbonne is on its way. We are at our tipping point because the world is ready for us. And now we are finding and attracting more innovators and more early adapters that are influencing the world and doing it in a way that the law of diffusion takes over. He says the best does not always win. Arbonne is and has been the best, you guys, but we haven't always won. He says the law of diffusion must be considered if mass market acceptance is important to you. Refusal to do so will cost a lot of money and may result in mediocre success, if not complete failure. Okay, so Arbonne is on its way. Arbonne is going to hit a tipping point. I feel like we are hitting a tipping point. I want you all to look at your businesses. Where is your business? Is it having mediocre success, or even maybe are you thinking, if this isn't working for me, and because you walk away and quit, that's how you have complete failure in Arbonne. The only way you fail in Arbonne is when you quit. Where are you at? What do we need to adjust? What do we need to do in you to create the kind of business that can have a tipping point in the future? Social media, you guys, is a huge validator for those people. This is what I wanted you guys to read, because it is making a difference and helping Arbonne hit their tipping point. He says the early majority, according to Rogers, that's that 34%, the first big group of people that go, okay, fine, I'll try what you believe in. He says they will not try something until someone else has tried it first. The early majority, indeed, the entire majority, need the recommendation of someone else who has already sampled the product or service. They need to know someone else has tested it. They need the trusted personal recommendation. And you guys, that's what social media is doing for Arbonne today. So if you haven't embraced social media and you haven't started branding yourself, I mean, I don't drink out of a cup unless it has this on it right here. You know, you guys, this is where you want to invest in your business, because you guys, this is where I can put out there that this lifestyle that I get to live, including being right here in Nassau, Bahamas, came from this right here. That is the message that I want people to go, try it. Try this business. See if it doesn't work for you like it does for me and a whole lot of other people who live this. I don't say that, but my lifestyle and my brand does. People that are showing the changes in your health and wellness, from your skin to your physical body, or the health, you know, whatever. That, you guys, is telling those early majority, the majority of people, it's okay to try it. It's already been tested. It works. This works. I'm laughing because I think about the people that are going. We had 2 new national vice presidents in our organization, a brand new regional vice president. Shout out to Jennifer Maladrini and her mom, Debbie Landers, and Terry Wilson, Terry Fisher, Beth Gallardi organization. Shout out to you guys, because you're the test that people needed to see that this works. You guys, and it is laughable that that's who and how they have to live. Be excited that you're the early adapter of this, because even though Arbonne is where we are, we're just getting started. Our CEO is talking about 50, 60 years from now. Be the innovator for your world today. Be an early adapter of everything that Arbonne has. Take advantage of the training, the tools, and the support that we give you to help you become equipped to push this message out to the masses and get your message out there and start changing your world, because Arbonne's just getting started. So he says, because the early majority won't try something new until someone else has tried it first, this is why we have to drop our price and offer value-added services. We attempt to reduce the risk tolerance of these practical-minded people until they feel comfortable to buy. You guys, and that's where I wrote, we have a 45-day money-back guarantee. Whenever I have to start saying that to people, I'm like, you know what? You're not an early adapter. You're the majority of people who don't want to believe what I believe, but let me just help you out. It's 40% discount. You can use it all, hate it, and then we can call Arbonne and say, you know what, you didn't like it, and we can get your money back, 45-day money back guarantee. I've lowered the risk enough for those majority of people that don't want to believe what I believe to go ahead and buy it, and I still get sales. I want sales from those people, you guys. My goal is to create them as an early adapter and an innovator for their world. That's my goal. But I'm going to have to help convince them that this is okay enough and safe enough and not risky enough for them to go ahead and buy it for themselves to start trying it. So I love that Arbonne does give us what we need, but then leave them alone. And that's whenever I say, you know what, we may not be a fit for you. If this is not what health looks like for you, then you may not want what I have and what I believe health is for me. And then let them go, because I'm in the sorting business. I'm not in the convincing business. He says, that's what manipulation, he says, they may buy, but they won't be loyal. Don't forget, loyalty is when people are willing to suffer that inconvenience, pay a premium like we talked about, and suffer, you know, things not being perfect to be able to get where, to get what we have and they believe in. He says the ability to get the system to tip is the point at which the growth of a business or the spreading of an idea starts to move at an extraordinary pace. You guys, listen to this, hear me. It is also at this point that a product gains mass market acceptance. That's the direction that Arbonne as a company is going. Where is your business? Are you getting mass market acceptance? People that just promoted to NVP, they're creating mass market acceptance because they're putting out there enough with their early adapters and the innovators they're gathering into their business, that the majority of people in those people's lives are watching enough to go, I believe enough to buy it at a discount. What do you got for me? And that is creating this idea of mass market acceptance, the point at which an idea becomes a movement. When that happens, the growth is not only exponential, it is automatic. It just goes, you guys. And that's what we talk about. Like in the beginning, your business, I posted Jill Lyons numbers, and they look like every other MVP that ever these numbers from the time they decided to be an innovator and an early adapter in their business. Those numbers look just like everybody else's. So you can just take that and go, okay, this is what my numbers can look like. And you can say in the beginning, it's you plus 1 or 2 or 3 other people, that area manager thumbnail, okay? It's you plus. Then you start teaching those area managers that believe what you believe, the system and the plan that we use to share our belief. And then you start seeing exponential growth, you guys. That's how people can go from 15,000, 20,000 in their business, and then all of a sudden be hitting 40 in the next month. That's exponential growth. But he's saying you can not only see exponential growth in your business, you will see it grow whether you do anything or not. You guys, that's where my business is. I could be in Bahamas and do nothing. I love working wherever I can work from, but I could be here and do nothing. And you know what? My business is just going to go. It just goes, because it's had its tipping point. I've got enough innovators. I've got enough early adapters. I'm not done, and it can be bigger because I'm passionate about my mission, my cause, and my purpose, but I've got enough that it just goes. It will go for you if you will do what we are teaching you how to do, and you become that early adapter for your business. The goal of the business then should not be simply to sell to anyone who wants what you have, the majority, he says, but rather to find people who believe what you believe, the left side of the bell curve. They perceive greater value in what you do and will happily pay the premium or suffer inconvenience to be a part of the cause. They are the ones who on their own violation will tell others about you. The 15 to 18% is not made up of people who are simply willing to buy a product. It's people who share your beliefs and want to incorporate your ideas, your products, and your services into their own lives as what's to their own wise. And it's their own purpose, their own cause, and their own belief. Their willingness to pay the premium and the price, their ability to easily see why they need to incorporate your products into their lives make this group the most loyal customers. And that's what we want, you guys. People talk about us not only because they love us, but they talk about us because they get us. He says, get enough people on the left side of your curve and on your left side of the curve, and they encourage the rest to follow. But he says you can't do it without ignoring the golden circle. You got to start with why. Why do you believe what you believe? The what and the how is how and what we do, but it's the why. And I pulled up, you guys, Arbonne's mission statement and purpose, and not only the one that we shared, but there's another statement of purpose. There's a mission statement, and then there's a statement of purpose. And I'll post those in our pages, you guys, because he said to grow a business, all you need to do is more prospecting and finding the people that are going to be those early adopters in your business and help innovate with people that are in their world. So how do you get more people to get it? And he says the transition between early adopters and the early majority, and it's hard to cross, but not if you know why. And if you have the discipline to focus on the early adopters. And you guys, I think you have to have the discipline to be, like we've said, people that are early adopters and innovators for everything Arbonne has. Healthy living and RE9, virtual and in person, business and products. That's where you are going to have to be disciplined enough to embrace everything and suffer the inconveniences that it causes you to be able to learn everything you can to push your mission and your cause and your purpose out there to even more people, and find those innovators and adapters in your world that are going to become influencers and connectors for the majority of people out there, so that your business can hit that tipping point. Does that all flow for you guys? I mean, I had to read this chapter. I don't know how you guys do it, but I probably study a chapter 5 times at least while I'm preparing for this, because this is so deep for me. I have to understand it in a way so that I can turn around and teach it. But he says, so I want you guys to know, you lead your team. You can influence, good or bad. He says we're all influencers at different times and at different reasons. You don't just want any influencer. You want someone who believes what you believe. Only then will they talk about you without any prompts or incentives. This is huge, you guys. He says if they truly believe in what you believe, and if they are truly on the left side of the curve, they won't need to be incentivized. They'll do it because they want to. The entire act of incentivizing an influencer is manipulative, and it renders the influencer completely inauthentic to his or her group. You know why, you guys? Because they did what they did because they were influenced or manipulated to do it. Honestly, that's what I love, and why I'm willing to grow my business slower. I'm willing to not influence people enough that they go, okay, well, I'm going to go for that challenge, and I'm going to work on that because I want that thing that's being offered to me. I want people that are here, and I'm waiting for the people to just show me, I believe what you believe, Carlita, and I'm willing to do it. Because like I said before, those are the people that win the challenges every single time, whether I put one out there or not. I can tell you who's going to win it. And it's the ones that have become innovators and early adapters for what I believe as well. And they are out there sharing it. But if it doesn't, people that are influenced or manipulated to believe that, they don't go out and share and become the connectors and influencers for you, because they don't believe they did it because they believe. They did it because they were going for a challenge. Does that make sense? I hope I'm talking clearly enough that this is connecting for you guys to go, do I work for challenges or do I work because I believe? And it's not a bad thing, you guys. It's just that we know this business is built on belief. And we need to check your belief meter so that you can believe, and then go out there and become an innovator for your world and do this despite inconveniences, despite the fact that it requires a huge amount of discipline, despite the fact that you're going to have to struggle and suffer some hardships on your journey because you don't care. You're going to do it anyway because you believe. Where are you at? And are you having to be chased down to do this, or is it just what you do every day because you believe? That's what you want to ask yourself and know, so that you can be working to move towards the left side of the curve for you, and then create that and find those people that are going to work with you. He says, let me go over here. Talks about TiVo. I think I've talked about all that. I've talked about so much, you guys, just because I was so passionate about it all. Talked about Petter and the pioneers. People. Oh, this is one where I said, this is some people, and I'm thinking of a few people specifically. You probably know who you are. Whenever TiVo was trying to get people to believe in their product, and they were like, they just need to live it. They just need to get their hands on it. And then they'll know what we're talking about. And I love it how people say, just put the product on your face and you'll believe it. But you guys, unless they know why, they're going to go, yeah, that feels great. But the next time somebody gives them something, they're going to go, well, that feels great too. And it's the commodity. We become that commodity. We're not developing loyal customers. And so we don't want to just have the philosophy of, well, if they try it, they'll love it and they'll do it. We want people to know the why, the mission, the passion, the purpose behind it, because that's what TiVo, he said TiVo was absolutely the best. Arbonne is absolutely the best. But he says because they failed to properly communicate and rally the left side of the curve, he said that their mass market did not buy it. And there was no one out there telling the majority of people that they needed to buy a TiVo. When you start with why, those who believe what you believe are drawn to you for very personal reasons. It's those who share values and beliefs, not the quality of your products, that will cause the system to tip. Your role is in the process is to be crystal clear about what purpose, cause, or belief you exist to champion, and to show your products, services help advance that cause. So you guys, these products are not your cause. They are the what and the how to what you need to champion that is helping you champion your cause. Health and wellness for our world. And this is where I love where he talks about Martin Luther King Jr. and how he said the country was torn apart by racial tensions. Our country is in a health crisis and is being torn apart because of a health crisis. That's our cause. That's our mission. That's our passion. That's our purpose. Our country is being torn apart because stress from lack of time and financial freedom in our homes is creating this discord and this disruption in families that's destroying families, that destroys cities, communities, states, countries. That's our problem, you guys. These are the causes that we have that we're out here making a difference for, like Martin Luther King did for the inequality of human race back in the day. And so you guys, today, that's what I feel like our cause is, and our purpose and our belief to champion. And then Arbonne and the products, the vehicle of the business and the products are just how we champion this cause. Absent of why, he said you'll play the price and feature game and slide into the commodity status. And that's what happens. So Arbonne mission statement, your own, mission statement, just look at it and see. And then he talked about Martin Luther King and how he got people to follow him, not because they followed him, but because they followed what they believed. And it wasn't just the African-American population, you guys. It was 250,000 people. They're white people that believed what the black people believed. That they were all there because they believed, not because Martin Luther King believed. And that's who we're looking for in our businesses. And Dr. King was absolute in his conviction. He knew change had to happen in America. His clarity of why, his sense of purpose gave him the strength and energy to continue his fight against often seemingly insurmountable odds. There were others like him who shared his vision of America, but many of them gave up after too many defeats. Defeat is painful, and the ability to continue head on day after day takes something more than knowing what legislation needs to be passed. He says he had to have organizers that had to help him rally and keep the push going, you guys. We know it's hard in Arbonne. We know hearing no is hard. We know having people quit is hard. But if you can just put them in the category that they belong, quit worrying about them. You only need to find a few people that are the innovators and the early adapters for your business to hit a tipping point, and for people to show up because they want to show up, not because you're trying to convince them and give them a good enough deal or challenge them and drop enough carrots in front of them that they will stay in this business and do what it is that we know we all can do whenever you believe what we believe. And so I had to rally my family first whenever I came out of that. And I was like, I believe in this, you guys. And I believe that this is going to help us change our world. And I believe that it's going to help us help change other people's world. And so I rallied my family, you guys. Then I went out and I started sharing my belief with my world and looking for people. Do you believe what I believe? Because if you believe what I believe, come join me and I'll help you change your life, and then we'll help change others for you. I just needed that 15 to 18%. I have 4 direct national vice presidents, you guys, and I have a business that could let me sit here and do nothing because it just goes today. Go for 8 area managers wide, like Linda Parker taught us the other day. But just go do it by looking for the innovators and the people that believe what you believe. And when you do, you guys, that's whenever duplication will happen. People heard Dr. King's beliefs. His words touched them deep inside. And those who believed what he believed took that cause and made it their own. And they told people what they believed. And then those people told others what they believed. Some organized to get that belief out more efficiently, even than Dr. King did. So you guys, that's what happens whenever you do area and those $2,500 building blocks. And again, I'm going to show you that one person doing 2,500 is somebody who believes. Then you get 2 people who do 2,500, 3 people that do, and that duplication starts happening. And yet it's happening because people believe for themselves. They don't believe what you believe and what you're doing. They believe because they have their own dreams of what this world should look like, and can know that they can change lives with it too. That's whenever you see people get passionate. And they do it with a plan, but they said they didn't use a plan. The plan had its place and its purpose, but they did it because they believe. And I'm going to read the last little part of it, you guys. People followed him because of their idea of a changed America. It does not, and it's because of what they feel. It's like because they believe. It's that limbic brain again. It's not because you can explain. It's because you believe. You believe what we believe. And he said more than anything else, Martin Luther King Jr. what he gave us was clarity, a way to explain how we felt. And I love that, you guys. I did have in my notes about how Vicki says now in her presentation. I know some of you think you know what I do and have an idea of what I do, but what I know is what I'm here to do today is tell you why I do it. And you guys, that's what we have, a way to helping you communicate your belief with clarity and purpose so that you can find and attract those innovators and early adapters. He gave us something to believe in, something that we could easily share with our friends. Everyone at the mall that day shared a set of values and beliefs, and everyone there that day, regardless of skin color, race, sex, trusted each other. It was that trust, that common bond, that shared belief that fueled a movement that would change a nation. We believed, you guys, in equality of life and health for everybody. Everybody's body was made perfect. You guys, I believe that. I believe that people are sick because of what they don't know. And I'm out here to help them, empower them, and help create a healthier community and world today because of what I believe. And whenever people believe what I believe, they're going to help me change their communities. And then that is where we're going to create the tipping point whenever we believe, you guys. And we're not convincing the majority anymore. That we first believe with everything we have inside of us, and then we know. It makes me want to cry. Then we just go out and we find people that want to believe like we believe, and then we get to go out and we get to give this world hope for their health, hope for their life, hope for their families, that they don't have to live the way that they live today and be stressed out like they are, and that rips and steals and destroys families because it's just a stressed out family. I believe you could be a family that gets to love and live like my family does if you believe like I believe, because I'm just an ordinary person who took advantage of a vehicle that was created by a founder who wished and worked and developed something better for us to have because he believed it. I believe that to my core, you guys, and I will never not do Arbonne and help this world become a better place because of it. And all I need is for you to believe so that we can believe enough to make a difference in this world, because we just need 15 to 18% of us to do that in each of our businesses. And then we can capture the majority of people, because there's enough people out there that will see enough results for themselves to go, I can try it and see what I believe. So I don't know about you guys. It took me a long time to get everything out of that, but I hope that some of what I shared with you helps you get more of what that chapter is teaching us about our business. So I love you guys, and hope that it is something that just helps your belief meter go through the roof, and you go out there and you find you some innovators and some early adapters to join you today. Thank you guys.